Hey YouTube! So, here's this Fender Mustang bass I've got in. The guy, my pal, wanted me to upgrade the pickups. These are, I'll peel that off later, neodinium magnet pickups. These are entwistle pickups that I've fitted to it. Yeah, so if you're going to fit these pickups, did need a little bit of routing. The owner, I had to cut the scratch plate a little bit just around to get the bigger P bass. The pickup covers are slightly bigger, like the wee circular bit on the bottom, but the curved bit. So I had to alter that a little bit. The owner said, "Oh, you should just have put the old pickups on." He doesn't really want to, the old pickup covers. He doesn't really want to advertise the fact that he's put in other pickups. But I don't know, something about this. See, because it's got that sort of hot rod look thing about it. To me, the writing on the pickups kind of reminds me, when you get the white writing on the tyres. My Land Rover has it. It's just kind of cool, and it kind of suits the guitar for me anyway. So these are Allen entwistle. A PBXN is the P bass pickup, and a JBXN. X being for I don't know, and N for neodinium probably. The reason it took so long to do is this pickup arrived not working. What was happening was, when you went onto it, sounded great, and then when you just went onto the jazz bass pickup, these two strings didn't sound at all. I was like, but these two were great. I was like, what's going on there? And what this is like a humbucker. So if you imagine it being like this, where you get two coils wired in series, this is one coil and one coil, so on its own it'll be hum cancelling, and basically it was a faulty one. So I mean, the company sent them out a new one with a return envelope to send back the one that didn't work. So it's just one of those things, but they were good about it, so that's fine. It was really strange, to get a pickup that only picks up half the strings, and it's like, all right, okay, because it's a dual coil, dual magnet thing. So it does sound indeed punchier. Kind of almost want to turn the volume down so it doesn't make the mic distort, but hey. I might actually just turn the volume down to make it less chance at the mixer. So that's the jazz bass pickup. Turn the tone off. P bass pickup, the tone up full. That's so bassy, it's making the room shake, but that's maybe just because I'm playing through a 150 watt bass amp with a 15-inch speaker in the house. So the distortion there probably might not be coming from the mic, which is now over here, so maybe stand here so you can hear me talking clearer. Both pickups on, with the tone off. So I would say yes, it's a worthy upgrade. I would do it. Worth doing. I did mention that I had to cut the scratch plate just a wee bit to take the sides, which, okay, maybe I could have put the original covers on. Didn't want to do that, but I mean, I could have done that. But I did have to route it to take the pickups because these are much deeper than the ones that come in it. So if you're thinking, oh, I've got that bass, I will swap out the pickups, be prepared. You have to do a little bit of digging. And you have to lower it by a good 5mm at least to take these pole pieces on the bottom of the pickup extend right down into the body, so you need to route it or Dremel it out to try and take it and below the pickup to make them fit. Same exact thing happened when I upgraded his last guitar. He had a G&L Telecaster, and he bought stacked P90s to put in it instead of the standard P90s, and I had to do the same thing again because a P90's that, and if you stack it, it means you've got two coils on top of each other, so it's that. So it just has to be. It's just one of those things you have to do. So it's not a super easy. All you need to do is connect up two, 4 wires type job. There is a little bit of messing about to do, but it's worth it. And it's all, even if you do make a bit of a mess of it, I did it super neat. But if you do make a bit of a mess of it, it's all hidden by the scratch plate anyway, so it doesn't really matter. There is a skill to playing short scale basses, which I am now used to, because I've got a few, or I've had a few, but when I first got my Musicmaster, I struggled playing it a lot because the bottom E, you have to be really careful with the lower E. It sounds great, but if you just absolutely thump it the way you can on like a full scale bass, it kind of frets out and farts a bit. Just something to do with string tension and the fact it's not quite long enough. It's the same on every short scale bass you get. It's just something you just have to alter your playing slightly to take it. You just can't hit the string quite as hard, basically. I'll play some rubbish leads over that. Sounding a bit like a Majesty's Secret Service there, but maybe not. Yeah, just silly really. It's just too tempting when I've already set up I've got like a loop, bypass, what do you call it? An AB pedal on the floor. The reason I plugged into that is because the tuner is in the guitar amp rig. So I figured if I've just got that, it means I can stomp on that and it puts to the guitar amp rig. And I have to have the amp on anyway to get the drum pedal, which is into the guitar amp rig as well. So just because it's there. One thing I said last time was, to me it looks quite small than I was expecting. I think it's because it's got full size pickups in it, whereas a Mustang, I've got two. Well, I've got one Mustang which is a Squire Mikey Way. It's got a single bucker in it. not a P bass pickup, and the Bronco bass comes is the same as what comes with the Musicmaster, which I'm about to show you. It's got like a single Strat type pickup in it, so it doesn't look as weird having these huge. I think it's purely just because I'm used to seeing a P bass or a P bass type guitar, size guitar with these pickups in it. So I'm going to open up the Musicmaster, which is an original case, and see if it does actually look any different. So there's this is a 76. Here's my Musicmaster, and is it actually any different size wise to that? The answer is no. It's identical. It's the same. Yeah. So basically, it's just they've drawn out. They've used the same mold as they did in for the original Mustang, and the Musicmaster is a sort of budget version of a Mustang. It doesn't have the metal plate here. It's only got a 2-saddle bridge, and it's got the Strat pickup, and it only comes in solid colours, so it's kind of this one has is it S8, that make it 78. So this one has 40 years of age to it compared to that one, and you could basically, I think, even you can't really compare the two, because 40 years you can't really fake sort of thing. I mean, I know you can buy relic ones that, but this will have a much lower output pickup. I suppose I might as well plug it in so you can say yes it does. Whether it's a tune or not is another question. In fact, I've even got the tuner plugged in, so yeah. So this is the Musicmaster, which will be significantly quieter. That is up at full, so yeah. So it's basically, this is half the volume of that, but this doesn't even have. It's not saying this has got a standard pickup in it. This has got a. That's basically a 6-pole Strat pickup with a plastic cover on it to make it so you can't see that it's 6-pole. But it's quite common to see these with, or especially the Geosonic, people put, not the Geosonic, the Bronco bass, which I've had a few of. I really like those basses. I couldn't justify keeping one because I've got this one, and I can't keep this because it's got sentimental value. This I bought 20 odd years ago. My pal bought it in Victor Morris, and then a year later sold it, and I didn't have any money at the time, and it was like, well, I know it's a lovely guitar, I'll give you, and I got it for basically half what you paid for it, because what Victor Morris used to do was, this is a shop in Glasgow, if you took something back within a year and you upgraded, they would give you half your money back as a starting point sort of thing. They would guarantee that, so I basically paid half what he did. And I've since found out, my pal Dava, who's talking about a Fender Musicmaster, he said his pal had one years and years ago, and he could never get it to work properly. It was something wrong with his setup, and it was like it just buzzed and stuff. And I was thinking, the one when I got it was like that. Or when my pal got it and he got it set up and it was better, and then I did work on it later on and managed to get it so it now plays all right. And he said, that's really strange. It was the same one. He's like, yeah. I said, I've got the original case. He's like, oh, my pal's one had the original case. It's like a big sort of arty drawn Fender F on the back of it, and I was like, pure, what kind of like it's drawn in pastel paints. So basically I now got the history of this guitar, which was already sentimental because I'd known about it for 20 years, so you go back another 5 or 10 years and kind of place it back to then, and it's never really been played because to this day I'm not actually sure what it was that was wrong with it, but it used to just buzz everywhere. So I don't know, maybe when my pal got it set up, they did some fretwork on it or something like that. I don't know. Whatever they did, and it came back working, and then now it works, so it's fine. But I never bothered changing the pickup because it's original, and to be honest, it's not a bad sound, it's a different sound. someone actually told me relatively recently the original idea with this was it's for the short scale thing is for guitarists, you know, so it's not as strange having the full 34 inch. It's like 30 inch or 20. I can't remember. Short scale doesn't seem to have a set thing. I can't remember what the size Fender used. Pretty much dead on 30 inch. I'm pretty sure that one wasn't actually. Was it not 31? There you go. So there's a difference. It's 30 and a half. So that just shows you how much a short scale bass isn't standard. This is a 30 inch scale. That's 30 and a half inch scale. Half inch doesn't make that much difference, you wouldn't think, but again, you're messing about with tensions, so in some ways it does. You do get a sort of funny, this kind of sounds like it's got elastic bands on it. That might be to do with the pickup. As I was saying there with the, it's got a thumb rest. This is for guitarists, and the reason they put a Strat pickup in, I think the reason was because it was much cheaper and they had Strat pickups, but it's so that you could play it through your guitar amp and not blow anything up, because it's not as powerful, so it's kind of more like a guitar. So you know, it's for, so you don't need a bass amp. I don't know how true it is. Don't complain if you try that and then blow up your, you know, have your guitar amp up full and blow up one of these. But the same thing, I've had a couple of Broncos through, you know, for various fixing uppings, and I bought it. I thought, oh, I'll put one of those hot reel buckers in it, but it sounded really fine. It sounded really good. I kind of like this one as well though. And then I got one that did have the hot reel in it, and I put a chorus plate on it just because I kind of like the original sounds. The humbucker does have a more normal bass sound, but part of the quirkiness thing that having these things is. Bit strange. I've not tried taking this in with the Black Sabbath band yet. I think it's something about, you know, short scale, single coil, and it's like I'm going to be playing the heaviest music, well, the best and heaviest music of the 70s, and on a single, it maybe doesn't seem right. But I'm going to have to try it at some point. Again, 17 minutes. These are the two videos I did today, like this and the Les Paul on the wall there, were meant to be 5-minuters, but it doesn't happen that way. Rock on!